Welcome back. Turn 40. Uh, it's been a night of anxiety for me since it's November 4th, 2020, and we'll see how this ages. But let's talk about Dominions. So, finished up Alteration 5. I'm doing some work in Thaumaturgy. I'm going to be after finishing up Thaumaturgy 4, which will get me Paralyzed. Then I'm going to be leaving Thaumaturgy 5 for being for right now. I'm going to go into Construction up to 6. I think I've got a moment of respite here to make that investment. Found some magic sites. We got the Enchanted Field and Eagle Tribe. So Nature Gem and this Eagle Tribe. I've got no resources here, so I'd have to build a fort to use it, but I already have access to air, so I'm probably not going to bother with these guys, although being able to get air fire or air earth would be nice. Over here, these guys are just air nature, so I'll think about it. I might invest in the Eagle Tribe. We'll see. It'll be a while for sure, especially since the income situation here is pretty bad. I noticed some gaps in my site searching, so I forgot to site search here in more detail. I missed this province as well, so I'm getting those caught up, as well as this land I've grabbed from Pangea. Speaking of which, let's watch this battle. So Pangea sent their main ads in after me. It's dark and spooky, but my guys, once they bless up, will have dark vision. On my side, we've got sacreds, and a horde of spiders and shit in the middle here. These foul spawn are intended to be behind the sacreds and spit poison. And then these lions, which as you can see some of them are starving, but they're intended to flank around the outside and attack rear. And then I've got siege chaff behind the whole crew. Pangea has a shit ton of main ads, a few sacreds, and then some pans in the middle. So here's the pan. I don't know why this guy has a death staff, but he does. Alright, so let's go ahead. We're gonna put this on slow motion actually, just so we can see this situation developing. And here's the problem with undisciplined troops. As you recall, my plan was to have stuff kind of summons and fire dudes funnel in through the middle. But the problem is that undisciplined troops, in their haste to get to the battle, just kind of rush forward, and they're gonna clog up the middle. So the spiders rush ahead, the lions rush ahead, these foul spawn with their poison spit, which I wanted them to stay behind. They're not staying behind. These Draco Lions are also staying behind. Alright, now we can go up to normal speed. So the result is that I've got these lions up ahead way further than I wanted them to. Like, I really wanted the soldier priest to be the front line. And what I should probably be doing, what I think I'll change up for next time, is I should be just having the soldier priests advance right away, the sacreds. That way everybody will basically march in lockstep, and I'll be able to actually keep my formation rather than letting these undisciplined run ahead. Now, this isn't going to matter because main ads are fucking terrible units, but it's a downside. If I go ahead and look at the Sacred, they've got Dark Vision 100, so they don't care about the darkness. The main ads do not have that benefit, so I've got +3 on them. done a lot of swarming here. This pan is just spamming crappy spells, flying shards. What a waste. I guess they can actually hit with them, the lions, because the lions are not armored, but they've got a lot of HP, so they don't really care. This guy swarmed before casting bad spells. But then here's a second thing, which it's not the end of the world, but because Pangea brought so many maenads to the fight, they were able to HP route before I got to their mages. So if we go ahead and look at that, Pangea was almost wiped out in terms of like all but 7 of their maenads and 10 of their centaurs, but all of their pans except for one of them escaped. I didn't lose really anything of note. I guess I lost about a third of my sacreds, which is fine, and a bunch of lions, which I'm not too worried about. So overall, definitely a successful battle. I mean, berserking maenads will get some. And now, I'm sending this guy in as a flyer against Pangea just to, if I can conquer the outskirts, then that'll make this whole process much simpler. We'll see if that happens. It's worth a gamble for me. Maybe it shouldn't be, but that's the decision I decided to make. This guy, he's not equipped particularly well. I didn't give him any attack skill to go along with his pike, but he's got fear, he's got awe, he's got armor. He'll hold up. Although that's silly. I'm not gonna fly him in there. I'll let Pangea get another turn of recruitment and then just overwhelm them with numbers. Pangea might send in more maenads, but I'm not too worried about that. But what I can do is what we talked about before. Oh, that's interesting. So the right side of the line got destroyed. The left side of the line is fine. So I guess bearing that in mind, we'll have these guys just, they'll start here, but they'll run ahead. These guys will still be aiming to flank. You can join up with you. Alright. You can join up here. These are just random foul spawn that are bad. They're just there for siege chaff. These guys are the poison spitters, so they need to be behind the sacreds. And this will have the battle line be further ahead than I had in mind, but that was going to happen anyways, so it's better for me to just embrace it. Yeah, this will do. So have those guys advancing. Meanwhile, here, a lot of the foul spawn are staying at home. But we've got plenty of reavers and some sacreds. And then this crew does not have much in the way of magic support, which is fine. They're not expecting a lot of, like, they're not expecting to need it, basically. Put you with the rest of the reavers, and you guys, you'll just hang towards the back, I guess. Alright, other battles. So Banderlog versus Pythium. This is just them picking a scout into this PD. This is an army walking into some PD. Quite a bit of PD, actually. But it's the same army that we've seen. And this battle is a fort battle. But Pythium has some Theurgs, which he can unit up, but it's just not going to do very much. They all ethereal themselves, which is a waste, because these guys have magic weapons. And these guys, they also have magic resistance 19, so even like soul slaying shit doesn't really bother them. The result from that was actually a few dead from Banderlog, 2 mages, but complete wipeout for Pythium. Events, birds attacked Namor, but we beat them. Birds attacked Omer, but we beat them too. Obscuro, Cymbeline, 3 on both, that's a neat boost. Air gems, and a small cash infusion plus blood slaves. We've got the troops here starving. What else is going on? I'm summoning some Cyclopses just because I've got tons of earth gems and I should be putting them to use rather than sitting on them. Calling the Solar Ram, as we talked about before, and casting mana from the heavens. So I ended up giving this guy the Thorn armor just so he could get to Nature 5, and he's going to cast mana from the heavens, which will hopefully get us some nature and astral income, as well as reinforcing growth scales should anything happen there, although I don't expect it to. It's mainly for the income, especially since I'm going to want more priests anyways to bolster my scales. So as long as I'm at it, I might as well get some gems along the way. Speaking of which, all of these guys that are, well, anybody who's mobilizing heathens is going to stop because I want the gems more. Over in my capital right now, I'm recruiting primate kings, and I'm just going to use them to farm gems as well. Probably switch off the primate kings at some point, but right now I'm pretty cash strapped. Alright, I think that covers it for now. So, retrospective on turn 40, sorry. I like to do retrospective around turn 40. About to conquer Pangea. Expecting this to go pretty well. I might be in for a horrible surprise, but and so I haven't cast Akashic knowledge or Akashic record, sorry, on Banderlog. They're clearly the #1 nation, though. They're running over Pythium. They won the Arcocephale sweepstakes, by which I mean they have Arcocephale's capital. Number 2 is probably me. It could be Asphodel, who has Ulm's capital. But Asphodel is... like, Asphodel is a player, don't get me wrong. But they... I don't know. I'm doing pretty well, too, I guess is what I'm trying to say. In terms of actual throne power, I've got 3 points. Banderlog has 3 represented here, although they're probably closer to 6. Asphodel has just the 1. There's this throne on our border, but we haven't been touching that with a 10-foot pole on account of the fact that it's got a lot of lightning shit. There's not any other thrones likely to change hands soon. I'd have to fight Banderlog for this one, which I'm not planning on doing right away. I want Facia to move in on this one, but it looks like Facia and Asphodel might be fighting here. So we'll have to see where that's going. I also don't know what's here. I guess this would be the big prize. If there is a way that I can grab this throne, that'll change a lot. My plan in that direction would be, ideally, I'm going to want to summon a succubus and have that succubus start just assassinating commanders here. And it'll take a while to go through them all, but for one thing, I might get lucky. I might get myself a free Anunnaki of the Sky, which would be amazing. And for another thing, it'll be less costly and less noteworthy to my opponents if I just can kind of sneak this throne away. And you know me, I prefer the sneaky approach, all other things being equal. Research kind of low, spread out. Keeping research spread out is just kind of what I generally do in Dominions, because you get more tech levels that way, and there's plenty of goodies even at the low levels. And I haven't found something high up that I really want to rush. Globals, I'm putting up Man from the Heavens, as well as Mother Oak, and Pangea has Stellar Focus. Not Pangea, Banderlog. So, because Banderlog has Stellar Focus, they also have access to some of this other stuff. So, they could also do Earthblood Deepwell, or they could have done Mana from the Heavens by now if they wanted to, but it's not really good for them. Eternal Pyre, that type of thing. As we've talked about, their Pretender's just 3 across the board, so there's only so many things that such a god can actually cast, but it's something that they could be leaning harder into if they were so inclined. Alright, now I think that covers everything. I'll see you on turn 41.